What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good evening tonight. Sorry for the late unannounced stream, but I figured I had to come on here and tackle some stuff that has happened today with me as far as Rams fans coming at me hard. So you guys know I have a pretty hard stance on what I felt about the Super Bowl and about the Rams winning. And you know, as I thought and as I predicted, people have come at me pretty hard about my stance, and I'm not going to back off my stance, and I will take all the smoke that people want to throw at me. Um, what's going on, Karthik? How you doing? Yeah, so pretty much here's my stance on everything. Okay, so growing up, or at least in my late 20s, I was a Yankees fan, right? I'm not really into baseball too much anymore, but um, the talk of the Yankees was always that teams didn't respect them because they went out and bought all the best players, right? They didn't grow them on their farm system. They didn't have them start as a rookie and work their way up and turn into something along the way. Um, and then the whole fan base of LA being kind of non-existent, especially when it comes to their games and knowing being there and it being nothing but celebrities. I get frustrated. And as I predicted, and as a lot of us predicted, if they won, they were going to come out of the woodwork. Something similar to what happened with the Seattle Seahawks um, when they got Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom. Like, you didn't hear two words from them up until they become somewhat of a competitive rival. And then all of a sudden, the fans come out in droves and they attack you and they say things about you and your team. And You know, I'll congrats to a guy like Stafford, like Karthik says in the comments. I'll give my props to Stafford. But it's really hard for me to really be super enthusiastic about just the whole. I feel like the 49ers maybe have to take a page out of the Rams book at this point. The Niners take the measured approach of building through the draft and doing everything, so that they don't end up having cap issues and all this other stuff. And it's tough because, the Rams go out and they make these huge acquisitions. They take the shot. And all the talk this year was if the Rams take the shot, they got to win it. And unfortunately they did for 49ers fans. And I'm sure there's people in the Rams community that are real fans, that go back many years. But I mean, watch their games, watch their lack of fan base. Look at any celebrity that you see in that crowd. None of them are wearing Rams gear. It's frustrating. I got Rams fans coming at me now saying that they're the new team of California. They're California's new top team. That's what I got today, which I think is ridiculous, right? They're the new team of California. So, I kind of made a video today. I didn't really bash the Rams. I just said that I'm not down with the whole, build through free agency, build by just, trading away draft picks and stuff like that. It's just not something I think, you know, that I don't believe in. Now, if the Niners were to do something similar and maybe start doing that, depending on if it's like one or two guys that they think that's going to get them over the top, then yeah. But the fact that it's all of their roster in any particular important position, whether it's corner, wide receiver, quarterback, pretty big, pretty big positions to have, guys from other teams, and it worked out for him. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, and I speak my mind and I say what I feel, and I really don't care. And I got a lot of smoke today because of it, and I'm okay with it. I'm not jumping off a ledge. I've been a 49ers fan for 30 years, so I'm not sitting here and sweating Rams fans. I just think it's kind of funny. Like I said, as soon as they won, they were going to come out in droves. And congrats to them for winning it. It's a little anticlimactic when a team is expected to win and is built to win, and then they do win. I think a lot of the country was pulling for the Cincinnati Bengals. a super loyal fan base that's been around a long time. They haven't won a Super Bowl. They haven't been there since 1988. And it's sad that they couldn't get it done. The Rams, the one player that I can't say that they bought was Aaron Donald, and he was pretty much the reason that they ended up winning that thing. But yeah, like a lot of you in the comments say, I feel real bad for Joe Burrow. Um, it's unfortunate, but he just didn't have the time. His offensive line looked like trash. Let me look at these. His Sweet Tooth Jay says, if we had a real quarterback and coach that wasn't scared, we would have won the Super Bowl. My Joe, my issue is less with Kyle and more with the quarterback. I think Kyle calls the game scared because he knows what he has and he knows what he didn't have. Would he call a game different with a more aggressive, talented quarterback? I mean, that still to be seen. So you might be right, but we'll see in the future with Trey Lance if he changes his philosophy of being, ballsy and going for things, because they don't. The Rams are aggressive, and I'll say that about them. That's the one thing about the Rams that I respect is the fact that they go for it. They make the trades, they make the plays on the field, they go for the big plays. I don't know what the 49ers are going to do. The Niners are going to need to change what they've been doing, maybe not completely copy the Rams and go buy the championship, but maybe we have to start looking into being more aggressive in the free agent market. I know right now we don't have a lot of cap money, and that some will be freed up by Jimmy Garoppolo moving on. I was listening to a podcast today that said that the Niners could, do a lot of deals that put a lot of money on the back end because of the cap going up. So those are things to look at. It's definitely going to be an offseason where we're going to see if the Niners are going to hear, or if the Niners are going to change philosophies as far as roster building. Sweet Tooth Jay says, look, I live in California and I've already called out 7 bandwagon Rams fans today. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, where are you from? Bay Gibson says the NFL let the Rams win. Oh, dude. Have you guys seen the tweets from what's his face? He used to do the show with Stephen A. Smith. You know who I'm talking about, the old man that yells and screams a lot. He was pretty, I don't know what team, I thought he was a Cowboys fan, but he was going on and on and on about how the Rams, it was rigged and they should have won, and that they won because it was rigged. Those penalties at the end. Thank you, Skip Bayless. Thank you very much, Luke and Donaldo. Those penalties at the end were definitely something to behold because I was watching the game, definitely, pulling for the Bengals. Why would you want to root for the team that beat you in the Super Bowl and a team that's from California? Of course, I was going to root for the Brown or the Bengals. But those penalties at the end were ridiculous. And, there was no flags the whole game. And then all of a sudden in the last couple minutes, there they came. So, there's a lot of talk. I don't necessarily blame the game on the refs. I look at it like this, and me and my nephew have this philosophy. If you play well enough and you put a team away and you make the necessary plays when you have opportunities, then you don't have to depend on the refs who are inept at best. But at the end of the day, the Rams won. They're the champs. But like I said, I don't know how to feel about, this whole build the championship through free agency thing. And if the Niners should start adopting some of that philosophy, I don't want us to go that route. I feel like hitting on your draft picks and making picks and re-signing guys and rewarding guys who play well is the way to go. So it's just, I know a lot of people say, well, in the 94 year, you guys went out and spent. Yeah. And we got one championship out of doing that. We did it for the next couple of years after, and we didn't win. We did it in the 97 season. We lost to Green Bay. We had all these big names on defense and everything, and we weren't able to do it. So I just, I'm at a little bit of a loss in how I feel about all of that. Uh, I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, would you be down with the Niners making more aggressive moves in the offseason? I mean, it's apparent that the salary cap doesn't exist with the Rams. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that, but the Rams can have no money and still make trades for, this guy, that guy, the other guy. So I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they manage to make those picks, or excuse me, those trades and sign those guys, but there's definitely going to be something that needs to be looked at, definitely to where maybe the Niners need to go about things a little different. Bro, they finally called a penalty, but they didn't call the one against Ramsey where there was shirt stretching. Yeah. I don't know what to make of the calls last night, man. I just you're letting them play all game, and then in the last 2 minutes, all of a sudden you get flag happy. How many were there? Like 5 flags in the last couple minutes? Uh Don Suarez. Niners were so close. Who knows what's going to happen next season? Yeah, I mean, to be 2 minutes within beating the the Rams. Um, it just shows you how hard we fought this year, even though we were banged up in certain areas. But it's going to be an interesting offseason, guys. I guess we could jump over to my next topic. And speaking of the offseason and it's starting, I guess the closer we get to the March 16th deadline is when we're going to hear more about Jimmy Garoppolo and a possible trade. There has been some rumors. Um, there has been some rumors that the Washington Redskins might be a team that would be able to give up a first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo because of their supposed disinterest in this year's draft class. And I really don't know what to make of that right now because there's a couple people coming in from different sides. Some people saying, see, I told you so. The Niners are going to be able to get a first round pick. And then there's a lot of people saying that that's nothing but, pie in the sky and did not believe it. So the only way the Niners really get into a situation where they might be able to get a first is if more than one team bids on Jimmy, which, be honest with you, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it all depends on who's available. So that's definitely something to keep eyes on. If the Niners can somehow swing a first for Jimmy Garoppolo, that's huge. The Redskins have the 11th pick, so the Niners would have a pick just outside the top 10, which would be amazing if that was able to happen. I know Redskins fans would be really, really besides, or what did I say? What fans did I say? Blah, 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 blah. Redskins fans would be besides themselves if that was to happen. But I mean, if I'm the Niners fans and the Redskins are stupid enough to trade a first rounder for Jimmy, then we'll see. But let's look at these comments here. Let me back it up a little bit. CJ says the 94 Niners were stacked. Yeah, they were. They had Deion Sanders, Ken Norton, Ricky Jackson, Richard Dent, Toy Cook. I'm trying to think of other players that came in. That was the year we drafted Bryant Young. We had Dana Stubblefield, I think, from the year before. So, yeah, that was a good year. I remember the summer of '94, I was doing something. I was out of town, and I happened to catch the 49ers preseason game on television, and that's when I heard about the Deion Sanders trade. And I remember thinking, wow, the Niners are going all in on this. So it's definitely interesting to see if the Niners maybe go back on that and maybe start to look at being a little bit more aggressive. My biggest beef with the video that I made earlier is just I don't like just the whole buying a championship and buying all your key pieces through free agency, trading away all your draft picks, and then all of a sudden, you're this huge fan base that hasn't been heard of in forever, and now everybody's coming out of the woodwork. But hey, that's what happens when teams win. The bandwagon fans are going to come out in full force, and start rocking a bunch of Rams gear until the Rams fall apart and are no longer viable or no longer relevant, and then they're going to disappear all over again. So props to the real Niners fan or Rams fans like Payo Time, but all these people coming out of the woodwork, man, I really don't have anything to say about that. Don Suave says, "Ooh, first round, yeah, the 11th pick, the Redskins would possibly give up for Jimmy, but I'm not really going to take that seriously until we get closer to that new league year." So everybody, there's going to be a lot of rumors. There's going to be a lot of talk, and I wouldn't pay attention to any of it until it actually starts happening. So, Sweet Toot J, we will have Jimmy stands waiting Lance to do bad next year, and the fans. Well, hold on a second. And the fans believe that we will get Rodgers or Brady. Lance is a guy. Yeah, this whole like Rodgers or Brady thing, guys, you really got to put it to bed. I just don't see it happening. It could. Maybe as far as Brady if he wanted to come out of retirement, but what would that say as an organization about Trey Lance if the Niners were to do something like that? And how would that erode his confidence? But like I said, I mean, the Rams have shown that none of that trash matters. And it's all about the ring. And it's all about getting the ring. I had a conversation with a friend last night, an old friend. We disagree philosophically on all of this stuff. But he made a point. He's like, it's all about the ring, right? It's all about getting the ring. So I know my boy Luke Luna in the comments has made, talk to me about possibly, hey, what if the Niners made a trade for this guy and Trey sat a year? Listen, if it happened and the Niners did something like that, I'd be full on board for it, especially if Brady was psyched to come here and it was 1 year or Rodgers for a couple. But it just, with the way that the Niners cap is right now and the way that they need to re-sign certain guys in the future, I just find it hard to believe. But like I said, the Rams seem to do it anyways and figure out ways to avoid the salary cap. So never say never. Chris Maldonado says, I want the Rams first game of the season. You think there's just a slight possibility that might happen, Chris? I wouldn't worry too much about it. I have a feeling that the league knows how much 49er fans are pissed off that the Rams won the Super Bowl. So that would be a fantastic game. Luke Luna, Goff with the extra pieces, Miller and OBJ couldn't gotten by the hobbled Bucks team. And the Bengals team, maybe they couldn't get by us, but Goof won 12. Yeah. The thing with that is the thing with Goff. I mean, how different do the Rams look with Goff and how they look with Stafford? I mean, Stafford throws quite a bit of interceptions. The upgrade maybe can be in the quality of play over time, but man, that's a good point. I don't think the Rams would have won if they had Goff at quarterback now. I think that he was the missing piece, Stafford, and I'm happy for him only. But still at the same time, I'm not happy at all. So I don't know if you guys saw a lot of the talk that's been going on about the whole change the turf. There's actually a petition that was going on before the game. One of the people that was talked about it was George Kittle about how they need to change turf to natural grass in all of these stadiums. The amount of injuries that happened in the Super Bowl last night that were all similar was astounding. And the case can be made that natural grass gives a little bit more and isn't as sticky, and that, players are getting hurt because of it. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that the natural grass needs to come back in all the stadiums? Do you think that's just wishful thinking? I mean, I would be for it because I do see a lot of injuries happen on artificial turf / field grass. So the fact that Kittle's been behind kind of a movement to get that done would be interesting. He wasn't the only player. A lot of players came out on Twitter last night, and we're all talking about banning turf. So very interesting movement that's been going on since the Super Bowl, and we'll see what happens. I don't think the league's going to do anything about it, honestly. There would have to be some sort of research or some findings or some sort of analytics crap that would have to go on before you would see a change like that. Eddie E. I heard the 49ers will deal Jimmy to the Commanders. It's a rumor that's going around right now that they'd be willing to part with a first round pick, the number 11th pick. It was from The Athletic, which is a very reliable source, but I just, we'll have to see, Eddie. I really don't know. Do I wish that would happen? Absolutely. The Niners could get right outside the top 10 and make a draft selection. That would be incredible. They could get a guy that could start right away. Corner, you know, I don't know. It'd be interesting though. Um, the one thing that I wanted to ask you guys that comes to mind right now is with the upcoming free agents that we have, there's been talk that what if the 49ers let Laken Tomlinson go and move Aaron Banks to his left guard spot, which is what he played in college? Do you think that's a viable option? If that was to happen, I honestly could see something like that happen if they really believe that he would be better on the left side. But I don't know how you guys feel. Are you guys more of in the Laken Tomlinson corner and would like to see him re-signed, or could you see a movement where Aaron Banks moves over to left guard and we move on from him? So let me know. Yeah, Eddie E said Debo as well. Yeah, Debo is commenting on the turf. OBJ ACL tear on turf. That's his second tear on the same knee, and I think, what did they say, 16 months? Something like that. Donaldo Trump says, hit them likes. Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you could, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Content will pick up definitely as we get towards the new league year and when the news really starts to be concrete. Right now, it's a lot of this stuff, where you just kind of talk about the what ifs and the hows and, the maybe. So, yeah. Luke Luna, I was happy for Donald as well once I saw him crying, and absolutely happy he was. You can't be mad at that. He has played his ass off. He has never takes a play off. If you don't, I didn't want it to happen, but hey, yeah, it's I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Donald, to be honest with you, man. But you're happy for guys like that. I'm not. I think people come off as like I'm being a hater and I hate the Rams. I don't really. I'm a big fan of just building teams through the free agency and trading away draft picks. It just seems like a crummy way to go about it. But like I said, the Niners have done it their way since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have got here, and it hasn't resulted in a championship. The fact that the Rams don't really have home games and that their fans don't sell out their stadium, none of that even freaking matters. I mean, does it matter if we have a full stadium? Does it matter if we have all our fans there? I mean, the Rams have made it obvious that none of that matters. So all I'm saying is I'm an old-fashioned person who likes to build through the draft, but I'm definitely going to see if the 49ers change philosophy this offseason and do something which is out of character, which is maybe starting to be more aggressive, make a big splash. Problem with the Niners when they make big splashes is they make splashes on guys that are injury prone or at the end of their career. So definitely have to keep an eye on that. Does Jimmy have to approve the trade to team? I think once the league year starts, I don't think that has any bearing on it. So I'm not sure yet. I'd have to take a look at that. Sweet Suit J, if John and Kyle get a first round pick for Jimmy, then I will call them geniuses. Yeah, that would be an outstanding turn of events if that was the case. Yep, you said it. Um, Once they hit that new league year, I think his no trade clause kind of goes up in smoke. So the Niners are not going to do anything probably beforehand. They might have something agreed on in principle. Um, but and the look at this, guys, as much as I love Jimmy for how he, behaved himself and acted, at the end of the day, you have to come in and trade somebody to the best possible place. So even if it's the Redskins, or excuse me, the Commanders, my bad. Um, then that's what it's going to be. But we don't know yet. I really don't like making any speculation on any of this talk because it's like freaking. It's February. What? It's Valentine's Day. Like I said, once you get closer to that trade deadline or that new league year, then we'll definitely see what's happening. But I'm just right now I'm kind of you see the news and you kind of just scoff at it a little bit, I guess. Luke Luna said it's about becoming a champion. Yeah, like I said, man, if maybe the Niners have to change their philosophy and start doing what the Rams do and just saying bye bye to draft picks and trading away, whatever stuff that you think you could get in the future with draft picks and go and sign all the best players. I mean, if it worked for them, I'm not against making a splash here or there, but it's just like the Niners haven't done it like that. They did it in '94, but that was how many years ago? And how many championships did they get out of it? They got one. Before that, the Niners, it was before the salary cap era and all that stuff. So, of course, you can't really talk about it, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Tom Sanchez says sour grapes. Yeah, he commented on my video earlier. He thinks that I have sour grapes towards the Rams. I really don't have sour grapes towards the Rams, dude. I really don't. I really don't. I just feel like maybe the Niners need to adjust the way that they've been doing stuff and I'm just an old-fashioned person who likes to build through the draft, bro. That's all it is. And it's just a way that I feel is the most authentic way to win a championship. But y'all proved us wrong that draft picks don't matter and salary cap doesn't matter and all of it doesn't matter. So who knows? Maybe the Niners completely turn a new leaf this offseason and I'll be surprised. Lakers, Dodgers, Rams all buy championships. Pretty much. Not the old Lakers, not the old days, bro. Not the old days. The Rams from St. Louis when they won it in '99, they didn't buy any of that. They built that thing from the ground up. So it is what it is. He said Donaldo says it works, burns too. Yeah, it does work, I guess, but what the heck? You got a married woman pregnant? Oh, my man. I'm sorry. Are you just saying that to break the chat up? Oh, brother, man. I feel for you. Uh, Everybody take a second out of their time to just have Ken Kell in their thoughts right now because that's a craziness. Sweet Tooth J look, living in Southern California is so hard watching these fake fans with lambs gear and flags everywhere. Oh, bro. See, listen, I live in Bill's country, man. Sweet Tooth J. I live in Bill's country. I'm from upstate New York, Rochester. So Bills fans are out all year, every year. They're loyal. They're crazy. They jump through tables. Um, so it is just expected if the Bills were to win that they would be flying everything and being proud. But Where was the team during the playoff games when the Niners were there, or when the Niners bought as many tickets as Rams fans did? That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I got no problem with people rocking gear or being like diehard and stuff, but like, where was this? When did this happen? It happened since they had a deep playoff run and made it to the Super Bowl. That's when it happened. Just like Seattle, ain't nobody heard nothing about the 12th man until Seattle got Russell Wilson in the Legion of Boom. And the fact that Richard Sherman called them out on that is even more truth to that what were they beforehand? Ken Cal, I swear to God, bro. Oh, I'm praying for you, my man. I really am. Seriously, bro. That's a weird situation. I hope things work out for you in that, man. I don't know what to say. That is tough. Do I think Sean McVay is a better coach than Kyle Shanahan because he has a ring and won with NFC? Yeah, right now he is. I can't hate McVay, even though he's a cocky son of a bitch. Um, he's more ballsy. Um, our winning streak through the regular season really doesn't matter if we lose to them in the playoffs. So right now he has a ring. Yeah, of course he's the better coach. He's got a ring and Kyle doesn't. So Kyle's got to get over that Andy Reid hump of choking late in games before we can anoint him to be, that next level as coach. It's an interesting question whether we lose cap space if we, yeah, because if you have a first rounder, that's a good point. If you have a first rounder, yeah, the cap hit is so much bigger um, than if you had a second rounder. So you'd wonder if the Niners would even take that pick and maybe trade back into the second round just so that they don't have that kind of cap hit. But thank you, Luke, for popping in. Luke says, I got to go, brother. Always have my support 100%. Thank you, Luke. Thanks for the $2 super. Appreciate it very, very, very much. Itchy95 says, advantage McVay has over Kyle and the Rams really has front office making. Yeah. Buddy, I mean, we were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, man, and we were up, and we just, between Jimmy and Kyle, we weren't able to get it done. We didn't have the the coaching or the quarterback play to get that game won. And he had his first opportunity and failed against the Patriots. So props to him. You wonder if he's going to actually step away like the reports are saying. I don't think that's the case. There is reports that Aaron Donald might retire. A lot of 49er fans were like, we want the Rams to win. That means Donald's leaving. So again, I don't know how to feel about that right now. The game just ended yesterday. So let's let everything marinate and pass for a couple days before we even think about any of that. I agree. 49ers throwback says, yeah, I agree. The NFC Championship game hurts a lot, especially for players like Kyle. Players in Kyle. That's why the Rams don't care about the regular season. Example, like the Buccaneers won. That's huge. Yeah, it really doesn't matter, man, in the regular season what we do. I mean, it matters. You want to have a good record, but I talked on my channel before the championship game happened. I said, would the law of averages catch up with the 49ers? And, we won 6 in a row and we're going into the championship game, and would it matter? And it did. The law of averages did catch up, and it happened in a game that we needed. A lot of that had to do with the defense not being able to get off the field on third downs. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that Jimmy just wasn't able to, he didn't play good football. And, the Rams loaded the box in that game. If you listen to Debo at the Pro Bowl, he said that the Rams dared them to throw. He said it. The Rams dared them to throw. They took away the run, and they weren't able to throw the ball. We got plenty of weapons on this team, guys. Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, Elijah Mitchell can catch out of the backfield. There was really no excuse. They were just they had the better quarterback. Their pass rush was crazy in that game, and I mean, we were 2 minutes away from going back to another Super Bowl, but it is what it is, guys. The season's over, and we can look forward to next season. And I know that's hard for me personally to deal with sometimes, but that's the fact of what it is, and we got to deal with it. Don Suave, what's up with Montana's comments about Trey? Yeah, Don, I'm the biggest Montana fan there is out there, okay? He's my favorite player next to Jerry Rice. But I don't think he has any idea what he's talking about. I don't know if he's trying to create some sort of angle about how he's relating it to his play day when he played and Steve was coming up and Steve wasn't ready. The fact of the matter is, Jimmy ain't no Joe. I can understand Joe's perspective on that when he was playing because he helped get the Niners 4 championships. And, they had this guy on his back for years trying to take his job, but this is not the case. Jimmy, I understand like I said, I understand his angle on it, but it's not the same thing. Debo knows Jimmy played bad, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, none of those guys are going to throw him under the bus. I mean, there is players like that will throw people under the bus, but he's not that kind of guy. To refer to what was going on earlier, he says her husband will be pissed. Yeah, that's definitely Ken Cal, I feel bad for you, man. I hope it works out for you. Sorry asking you that question. I'm not mad. I just wanted to know your opinion on. No, I'm not. Oh, that's fine. I mean, the whole Joe Montana situation to me is my whole thing with Joe Montana is just Joe Montana and Jimmy Garoppolo are not the same players. So for Jimmy or Joe to make a comment about he's the best thing they have right now, and they shouldn't move on to Trey until they have somebody better. How does he know? Does he even watch games? Like I said, or is he just going at an angle from his own personal experience? I think it's more had to do with his personal experience than anything. But Jimmy ain't him. Jimmy didn't win 4 rings, so it's a completely different thing. And like I said, I'm all in on Trey Lance. I don't care what happens next. I mean, I care what happens next year, but I'm not. It's time, man. It's time to move on. It's time to rip off the Band-Aid and move forward. And thank you, Jimmy, for what you've done. But I feel like we can take another step and get better. So here's to Jimmy. Hope he has a great career wherever he goes. But I'm all about Trey Lance and having an athletic, strong arm quarterback who can get things done, not only in the pocket but without. So, Tom Sanchez, why don't you like Aaron Donald other than he plays for the Rams? Oh, he's an asshole, dude. He's a dirty player. He's great. He's a fantastic player. If he played for the Niners, I would love him. I have a little bit of a Warren Sapp vibe with him. That's all it is. And the fact that he didn't try to give Debo any credit for what Debo does. You guys Rams fans can crap all over Debo Samuel all they want and say he ain't a good player. But you're full of it. Anybody who's anybody knows that Debo is one of the best players in the NFL, regardless of position. Yeah, Cooper Kupp is better in wide receiver sense, but what he means to this offense is as equal as what Cooper Kupp means to the Rams. If Cooper Kupp was to go down on that team, it would be devastating to them. He is the what they call the straw that stirs the drink on that offense. And that's the same thing that happens with Debo Samuel. But for him to be like, I don't know who he is. I don't know who, Debo Samuel is, and just not giving them credit for beating them that many times. That was my biggest beef with him. But yeah, props to him for winning a championship. If he retires on top. So, get out while your body's still in halfway decent shape and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Well, you're one Rams fan that thinks Debo is a good player because I have a lot of people tell me that he's a bitch and he's not any good, which I don't believe whatsoever. Chris Maldonado says Debo is the truth. Debo is one of the he's everything to this team. I wish the Niners would try to do other things around Debo, but I think that has more to do with the quarterback because I think Jimmy is so limited in where he can throw the ball. Debo fits in that little window that he likes to throw, the short, intermediate, the slants, the digs, the crossers, all that stuff. That's what Jimmy does well, and that's where Debo is. I think the Niners can be more dangerous, and which would make Debo even more dangerous because then other people would take their attention away from him, and they would have a harder time stopping him. So you are one of very few Rams fans that say that Debo's a good player. So props to you for not being a complete schmuck and saying that he sucks. Trey will open up the offense. Yeah, absolutely. Trey's going to make teams have to second guess whether he's going to take off. My thing is, don't use him as a running back. He's not Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have that kind of speed. So, if the Niners use him smartly and they use him and try to, pretty much run the same offense as they ran with Garoppolo, but be able to hit some of those throws that Garoppolo just won't make. He won't attempt. So, yeah, hopefully it is definitely a more wide open offense. Ayuk said on his IG, throw me the deep ball. Good thing Trey Lance will do that now. Yeah. That was on his Instagram. He said, throw me the deep ball. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, he, I don't know if you guys picked up on a little bit of the disconnect that Garoppolo had with Brandon Ayuk. It's very interesting. And if you watch games and you see him, it looks like he's showing him up sometimes and, making little, temper tantrums when Jimmy misses them and stuff. So, it's going to be an interesting offense, guys. I mean, the kid's going to have growing pains. So, for anybody who thinks he's just going to come in here and light the world on fire, I say be patient. The Niners would be smart to start the season by running the ball a lot more. And then as Trey gets more comfortable, start opening up the playbooks. So, but we'll see, guys. It's a long time till the season. Joe Montana can say whatever he want. Steve Young could say that Trey is ready. Nobody knows but the people in that building and Trey Lance. So I really don't listen to too much of it. Everybody has an opinion right now, guys, in this part of the off season, and there's nothing happening right now. You have the combine coming up soon, and then you have free agency in the new league year hitting in mid-March. So we will see, guys. Green Sweet Tooth J says, "Do you think Ayuk was in the doghouse because he was pushing for Lance to start from jump?" That was part of it. I feel like there might have been something that happened in camp or something, or maybe he just shows up Jimmy. I mean, if you see some of his antics on the field when Jimmy misses him, like the hopping up and down in place, or just overdoing it with his expressions and stuff. I'm not doing exactly what he's doing. I'm just saying it definitely, you show your quarterback up, coaches notice, because it's not a talent thing with him. I think maybe he and Jimmy just ain't on the same wavelength, and he showed him up, and the coaches and Jimmy weren't cool with it, and they made him sit, which is stupid. You right, because you're trying to win games here, but if you're trying to prove a point, then I think that's kind of dumb. But how do you think the 49ers running game will be affected with their OC leaving for Miami? I think with the hire of the coach from the Chargers, his name is escaping me right now. You guys know who I'm talking about. I think that the running game will be just fine because he's a big proponent of running the ball himself. So I'm definitely not too worried about the running game. I think the Niners, if anything, they just need, look to Anthony Lynn. Thank you very much. Anthony Lynn uh, is a proponent of running the ball. I think more ideas on top of Kyle's offense and anything added into it will make it much better. So I don't think they'd fall off too much. I think Anthony Lynn. I think Anthony Lynn will do just fine. Chris Maldonado says Anthony Lynn isn't McDaniels, but he has a history of success with the run game. Exactly. Exactly. What's going on, Jesse? Thanks for popping in here. I appreciate it, man. You guys don't know who Last Second Sports. It's Jesse Naylor and a couple others. They have a YouTube channel called Last Second Sports. Go check them out. Great 49er content. They have some Lions content on there too. If you guys, any Lions fans, go check out his channel. Jesse is one of the best, always open for collaboration. He's like me. He's a little bit more of a outspoken 49ers fan who's not afraid to get into it with people. So I appreciate that. So thanks for popping in, Jesse. Appreciate it. Can't wait for more of his show. Yeah, Jesse's great, man. I appreciate him very much. I'm just happy he got his channel back where it was before. I'm not brave enough to do call-in shows, guys, because I just don't trust anybody. So props to people who do call-in shows that aren't afraid. But man, Jesse says, thank you for the kind words. Subscribe here. Yes, please. Subscribe to his channel too, but you can subscribe here as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, reminder, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Last Second Sports tomorrow. Yeah, guys, definitely go check that out when he's on tomorrow for sure. I wanted to get your guys' opinion as I switch topics here of the Kyler Murray situation, which I find very interesting and out of nowhere. There was a report. I forget who came up with the report. I don't know if it was Ian Rappaport. I don't know if it was someone from ESPN. I forget the name, okay? But the report was that there is a serious disconnect with him and how people perceive him of why they lost the playoff game, and that he's being scapegoated as the reason why they lost, and that he didn't appreciate it. And he feel like he's not appreciated by the franchise. And, he scrubbed his Instagram of all things Cardinals other than like 2 pictures or something. He released a statement today saying that none of it's true. Don't listen to it. He makes it sound really copacetic and everything's great, but there's definitely something going on in Arizona, to get us, thinking, do I think it's going to end up working its way out as we get closer to the season? Yes. It's like the Aaron Rodgers drama. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of talk. But as they get closer to the season, I don't foresee any issues. So, but yeah, the whole thing with Kyler Murray is really, really interesting. You wonder what is going on over there. I mean, they're a good team. They came up short. Yeah, I can't say he's been exposed, but maybe he needs to up his game a different level. A lot of people maybe have fallen out of favor with Kyler Murray, but I mean, I still think he's a dangerous, good player. I think that maybe the league has kind of figured him out a little bit. But he also was out one of he was without his top target down the stretch. So that definitely is part of it. I think the pressure of winning so much so early got to them. And, pressure does 2 things. It either makes diamonds or it makes a lump of coal. So we'll see. I really don't understand what's going on. A lot of people have saying, hope he goes and plays baseball. Chris Maldonado said the same thing. Murray can go play baseball, honestly, if he wants. I am totally down with that as well. I told somebody the other day, I was like, listen, I'm all about the 49ers division falling apart around them and them being the best team by far, but that's not probably going to happen. It'll be an interesting offseason to see the Rams and what they do with their team and their salary cap situation. Like I said early on, it doesn't seem to matter with the Rams. The salary cap doesn't seem to matter. Drafting doesn't seem to matter. They get who they want. They sign who they want. So I don't know, guys. I think everything's going to work its way out in Arizona. I don't foresee any issues. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm worried, not worried. I'm more interested to see what goes on in Seattle because Seattle without Russell Wilson ain't the same team. Okay. They may have more money to do other things and maybe they can start over again. But that's a team I'm more interested in to see what goes down this offseason if they actually trade him. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk at the end of the season that he or the coach could be going. And it seems like the closer we get to the season every year, all that stuff kind of works out. So definitely some stuff to take a look at, guys, from afar. But if I was to worry about anything more than anything, it would be our team and what we have to do to get over the hump, which is the LA Rams. Regardless of how I feel, how they build their team or how they go about doing things, they won the Super Bowl this year and we didn't. So it's back to the drawing board for the 49ers. The Niners ain't a bad team, guys. Right now, the betting odds for the 49ers to win the Super Bowl, I think, is 5-1. I've seen 4-1 in some other places. So Las Vegas or, all the casinos all seem to think that the 49ers have a good chance of winning the Super Bowl next year. So, the Niners are a talented team or just a couple pieces away from getting over the hump. And one of those pieces is quarterback. Hopefully Trey Lance is that piece and we can get over that hump. So Chris says that would be great. I hate the Seahawks. Word. I feel the same way, brother. Feel the same way. Chris says, it seems Kingsbury struggles to adjust in the second half of the year every year. Yeah, I can't stand him as coach. I think he's a complete fraud, to be honest with you. I do not think he's a good coach. Just like I didn't think the Bucks coach was a good coach either. Arians. These coaches, they get all this praise. They're not able to do anything beforehand, and then all of a sudden they get a great quarterback like a Brady or a Rodgers or a Russell Wilson, or I'm not saying Russell Wilson. I'm just saying they get a great quarterback, and all of a sudden they're this genius. When to me, he's the same coach as he was before. I just think he was the product of having really good players around him. I think when the chips are down and the pressure's on its highest, I think they show that he's not really that good of a coach. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on that one. Itchy95 says Seattle is only good against us this year anyway. Yeah, tell me about it. Arizona has a lot of talent, though. Yeah, they do. They're not a bad team either, talent-wise. So I think the West is pretty stacked talent-wise. Again, we're going to have to see what the Rams do. The Niners don't have a lot of cap space right now either. You wonder what happens with Greenlaw if the Niners move on from Greenlaw. I don't think that's going to give them much cap maneuverability. And a lot of people were talking about McGlinchey being moved. I just don't foresee that happening, guys. I know it sounds really great, but I just don't see McGlinchey moving. That would free up about $10 million, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Eddie Faithful 49 says, I wanted to see how good Matt LaFleur is without Aaron Rodgers next year. That's if Aaron Rodgers leaves. We hear that every year, Eddie, and then he ends up staying. So, yeah, me too. Me too. I have a sneaky suspicion he won't be as good. Just putting it out there. Well, guys, that is pretty much it for me. I kind of covered everything I needed to cover. I like I said, I went in on the Rams today, and I got the smoke that I thought I was going to get. I'm not hating on the fact that they won the championship. I'm just I differentiate on how you build the team. But at the same time, I'm at the point now where I'm starting to wonder if the Niners need to take a page out of their book. I really don't know. I'm a frustrated Niners fan who thinks that what the Niners do is good, but if they can get better and they want to move off draft picks and sign high price guys and take a run at it for like 2 years or something and go for it, it's definitely something we got to see if the Niners change their approach this offseason with the Rams winning the Super Bowl the way that they did. It's definitely going to be something to watch as a fan. And I know you guys are all fans. It's definitely going to show how serious John and Kyle are about winning a championship and what sacrifices they're willing to make and what moves that may be risky are they willing to make, because the Rams showed you, they went all in and they won. So do the Niners go all in? Do the Niners make a trade for a really big name player or two? It's going to be interesting. I really don't know if that's going to happen. I lean towards no being the answer, but I'll be honest with you guys. All of us would be really excited if the Niners went out and signed, I don't know, some really big name player that wants out of his team and he wants to go. And we brought him here. I would be down for it. But it'll be interesting as we approach March 16th, guys, and we get more answers on the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. I think we'll find out more as the time goes by. So thanks for coming on here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the compliment on my hat. I like your YouTube profile picture with the DeLorean. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. So just because of that, I had to show your comment. Yeah, this came out during the draft, I think. I don't usually buy draft lids, and I don't usually buy lids that have like a mesh back, but I got a big ass head and a big ass forehead, so I had to cover it. So thanks everybody for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Everybody stay safe and healthy. If any news drops this week, I'll be sure to report it. I'm looking possibly to do a collab this week, possibly this Thursday, and I'll let you guys know the details when I get more information. But until then, stay safe and healthy, guys. Be good to each other, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, everyone.